Okay, I was going to take you to Phraya Nakhon Temple today. That was the plan, but I did a Google search, and I'm glad I did, because I found out that it was closed because of COVID-19. Of course it is. Go figure, eh? National Park. Anyway, let's put plan B into action. I'm at Chat Chai Market here in downtown Hua Hin, where all the locals shop. I think I told you earlier on, before in a previous video, that I'm a chef by trade. I've worked in 10 different countries and cruise ships and other vessels around the world, and I've decided that every so often I'm going to cook up some Thai street food for you. So that's plan B today. I'm down here at Chat Chai Market, and I'm going to go and do some shopping and get all the ingredients that I need to make you tom yum kun, which is tom yum prawn. I get the ingredients here, or most of them. I'll probably go to the seafood market where we went the other day, and I'll buy some prawns there, because that's what tom yum gung is. Tom yum gung is tom yum prawn. So let's head across to the market, eh? Busy street here. $36.5, still haven't got it, still okay. Here we are at the market. There's a lot of people, as usual. So I'm after some vegetables and some bits and pieces for tom yum. Oh, I might even get the prawns here. The seafood looks okay. No, I'll go to the market. I know it's fresh then. So crazy, really, isn't it? I can't take you to see the cave temple, but I can come shopping here, and I can go to Burger King. I can go to Market Village and Tesco Lotus, and that's okay. You're allowed to do that, but you're not allowed to go shopping. You're not allowed to go to a national park, because you might catch COVID, or you might spread COVID. But anyway, that's just one of my petty problems that I have, that I don't like. But let's have a walk through the market, and then I'll stop, give you an idea what you can buy here. Lottery tickets, fresh fruit and veggies, 30 baht for a fairly big bunch of bananas there. You got your seafood, but I'll know it's fresh if I go to the market. The big seafood market in Khao Takayab. So all sorts of Thai delicacies here. I don't know what half of them are. They're all dried. Probably dry seafood, dry vegetables, dried fruit. Fresh mangoes. What they're making there. That looks nice. Sweaty cap. Go back this way, seems to be the end of the market here. But it's all vegetables, fresh food market, not closed market. There's probably a few closed stalls, but nothing to speak of. Mainly fish, vegetables, fruits. A beautiful fish there. Wow. There's a 200 baht a kilo, massive. 200 baht, $8 a kilo. Fantastic. $250, they're even bigger. Oh, I might get the seafood here actually. It does look fresh. Yeah, I'll come back and get the prawns. Yeah, it's all fresh, it's all good. That's already cooked fish there. There's a durian, nasty smell around here. Okay, I better look at my list and see what I need to make tom yum goong. And there's your chicken. Chicken and duck by the look of it. Always cheap. You come here, it's a lot cheaper than going to Tesco Lotus at Market Village, and a lot fresher. Obviously you get them from the supermarket. They're quite fresh, but not as fresh as here. These were probably picked only a few days ago. But I think I need some stuff here. You got mushroom, big mushroom? Like that? Mushroom. Okay. I'm looking for mushrooms, red peppers. I want them big mushrooms, really big ones. Maybe up here. No, I can't see mushrooms, which is disappointing. Maybe it's not the mushroom season. Around here, more vegetables. Seems to be mostly fish and chicken and pork. Okay. Here we go, anything mushrooms here? No, no mushrooms. They sell flowers. These are for the temple. People buy them and then go to the temple. Well, that's strange. All these fruit and veggie places and not a mushroom to be seen. Yeah, so I found my mushrooms. I want some spring onion. One onion. Nice onion, lime juice, spring onion, sauce, looking, red pepper. No red pepper, I'll go and get that elsewhere. One big tomato. Cơm gấp. Cóต้นหอมด้วยเหรอ เอ้ยเธอเอาผักเลยนะเหลือก็ข้าวต้มได้เลยนะตับจีต้นหอมพริกใช้เปล่าพริกคอนเนเดอร์แล้วค่ะก็ยังอื่นได้ป่ะเดี๋ยวนะเดี๋ยวตะกร้าก่อนนะ
Oh, sorry, can I take that
โอเค
instead of that? Yeah, come.
กำลังปีผักกาดหอมด้านนู้นเลยนะด้านหินเลยนะครับนี่ค่ะนี่40 บาทค่ะ
45 baht?
40นะเอาอะไรบ้างหอมใหญ่เลยหอมใหญ่ปลาร้าจิ้มป่นอะไรมีด้วยล่ะ
Come.
You know, that was 40 baht, $2 for the veg for the tom yum goong. Didn't find a red pepper, so I'll go and look for a red pepper. I saw plenty of those elsewhere, and then I'll go and get the prawns, the goong. So we'll go back and look at those large prawns. Can't see the point of going to the seafood market. It's on the way home, but I'm here now. I might as well get them from here if I can find those big ones. Oh, too big. Too big. Maybe these. I take 4? No, I take 4. Just 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. No, I can. They're beautiful, very big, very meaty. 84 baht. Okay. Coming up. That's 84 baht, $3. Unbelievable, very cheap. $3 for 4 massive prawns. Probably 4 is going to be too much for me. I'm not a big eater, but I can always have them. Cab. I can always eat them tomorrow. For breakfast or for lunch. Cab, thank you. Okay, so that's all I need here. I'll head off home. I won't cook them now. I'll cook them for dinner maybe later in the afternoon. I love coming to this market. It's probably one of the only busy places going in Hua Hin at the moment. People still can't flock here because it's all for locals. If they don't rely on tourism, their business hasn't changed much. They're still very busy. Oh, there's some children's clothes, but it's mainly fish, chicken, some flowers for Buddha, fruit and vegetables. I went shopping a few days ago, so I got all my fruit and veg. And then there's this nice little eating area where you can buy sausages and chicken, soup, noodle soup. This is the place to come to if you, you know, the Tesco Lotus and Market Village for convenience, so you can do your shopping all in one go. But if you're doing some, you know, sort of big vegetable shopping, it's worth the extra 5 minutes drive. This market's only 5 minutes drive from Market Village, so it's well worth driving this way if you're getting a lot of veg and fruit. But if you're just going to be buying a bunch of bananas, it's probably not worth the drive. So I'll get these prawns back to Phraya, get in the fridge, keep them fresh. It's very hot and humid day today, low cloud here. Rainy season I think is not too far away, so that's why we're getting a little bit of cloud. Not much rain at the moment, but I'm sure it's on its way soon. what I bought today at the market. I bought all this veggie for 45 baht, and we got some spring onions. I put the spring onions back that I picked first time because I saw this which had coriander attached and I needed coriander. There's already coriander in the stock cube I'm going to use, but I like it a little bit stronger. I bought 1 tomato, I bought a red pepper, and I bought the red pepper after I bought these veggies. That cost me 10 baht. I bought an onion and the mushrooms. The mushrooms are nice and big. You can see in my hand they're massive mushrooms. These are good for tom yum because they absorb the juice of the rather than a smaller mushroom. They absorb the juice. Those were only 20 baht for all those mushrooms, but all of that came to 45 baht plus 10, 55 baht for the vegetables for the tom yum goong. I've got some carrot and I've got some pumpkin which I'm going to add to it, which I bought the other day. Now that's not traditional, but I find that I like to add other things to it. If I've got things I want to use up, or I like a certain vegetable, I'll add it to it. You don't always have to go by the strict recipe. Then we come down to these magnificent prawns. I'll put this one in my hand so you can see the size of it. It's if I can't stretch it out, but it's bigger than my hand. And those 4 prawns there were 84 baht. So for 84 baht and around about 50 baht, what's that, 135 baht, something like that, we're going to get a very good meal. What I'm going to do, I'm going to peel the prawns now and cut up the vegetables, and I'm going to use some of the coriander stalks and the bits and pieces off some of these spring onions and the stems off the mushroom. I'm going to make a stock, a vegetable stock, which I'll then use when I do the tom yum later this afternoon. I'm going to do a tom yum with coconut. Now there's 2 ways you can do it. You can do it just with the stock, but if you like a creamy texture, you put coconut cream with it, and I like it that way. That's my favourite, so I'm going to do this one with coconut. Okay, I'm going to start with making the stock. I bought these with this little bit of coriander, so I'll pull this off so I don't pull the leaves off the coriander too early. So you got some nice spring onions, and oh, it smells nice, the coriander. I'm not going to use all this, I won't need it all. I'm just going to cook the stalks now with the stock. Clean them up, give them a bit of a wash. Maybe throw a little bit of the coriander in as well. A little bit of a wash. So we put the coriander in there. The ends of these, the soft withered ends of the spring onions in there. I bought a carrot the other day. That was 7 baht. I'm going to use a little bit of carrot in the stock. Just that and that. Give it a bit of a wash. I waste nothing. This is good for the stock. I see a lot of people throw the ends away of everything, but why? It's all carrot. It's got carrot flavour. Good for stock. I've got an onion which I bought for the tom yum. I'll put a little bit of that in there as well. Take the skin off. I just need a little bit of that for the stock. The rest I'll put in the tom yum in pieces, so that's good for the stock. I'll be using only not much of this, so the same with that. I'll take that bit. Yeah, it's a bit dirty. And I'll put that in the stock as well. So I'll boil this stock up for half an hour, 3/4 of an hour. Now these are the tom yum cubes I was telling you about. I think that this says Knorr, because it looks like a Knorr brand that I remember from Australia and the UK. It looks like the same logo, but it's obviously written in Thai. These stock cubes, this saves me buying lemongrass. It saves me buying you know, too much coriander if I don't want to buy the coriander, but I like it a bit stronger with coriander, so that's why I bought extra. You don't have to buy kaffir lime leaves, and fish sauce. You can add it to it later if you like it stronger, which I do. I always add a little bit more fish sauce to my tom yum. But this stock cube will give you all the flavourings for a decent tom yum. You can add what you want if it's not strong enough, or if there's something extra you like to add to it, you can add to that as well. But this is basically your stock cube with all the flavourings for a good tom yum. So I'll pop that in there, turn it on, and top her up with some water. Break this up a little bit. Now I'm only cooking for me, so I'm only using 1 cube. 1 cube is enough for probably 2 meals. I'm not a big eater, as I said before, so I get the lid. There's the lid. Oops. I'm not a big eater, so this is going to be more than enough for me. This will be for 2 meals. I normally do that because I live alone. I normally cook double up the meal when I'm preparing, and then the next day I don't have to cook. I know it's lazy, but when I was in Australia and had family, and you know, there were 6 of us, then obviously you could just cook once a day and cook only one thing. But now it's easy for me. I double up. So if I'm cooking pepper pork, I'll do 2 portions of pepper pork, and next day just reheat it in the microwave. So that saves me cooking the next day, and it also makes sure that I have a good meal every day. So I've also got my prawns here. I'm going to use this in the stock as well. It's just coming to a boil now. So I'm going to use the shells and the head of the prawn and pop them in to make a nice fishy flavoured stock. I'll leave the tail on. I always like to leave the tail on the oh, I took that one off actually, but I like to leave the tail on the tom yum prawn. So I'll leave that on there and put this in here. Beautiful prawns. As I say, they're very big. Two will do me. I won't need 4 prawns, especially with rice and salad. This can go in there. And I'll clean these. While I've got the prawns out, I'll clean them up and leave them in the fridge until I finish them off. These will only take a couple of minutes to cook. I see a lot of people, you know, they throw it in the tom yum and boil it for half an hour. Well, that takes all the goodness and the texture away from them. So we see how that goes. Now then, devein these prawns. This is something you should look out for as well when you go out for meals in Thailand, especially street food. Check your prawns before you eat them, and you might want to devein them yourself. Thai people, a lot of them eat them with the vein in. I see a lot of people take it out as well, but especially in smaller villages, and they eat everything, so they don't bother taking the vein out. I always have done. It's just part of my upbringing as a chef. It's just something I've always done. But you might want to check if you order a bowl of prawns before you bite into it. If you don't like the vein at the back, you can pull it out, do it by hand. I wouldn't make a fuss and tell them and send it back, but you can just do it yourself at the table. So, oops. So these are all cleaned up now, cleaned up nicely, and more down there. Okay, in there. Yeah, that's going to make a nice little stock. I can smell the tom yum flavour already from that stock cube. I'll taste it in a minute, and if the stock cube isn't strong enough, I'll put another one or another half in to make it stronger, but I think it'll be okay as it is. Okay, I've got the vegetables chopped up for the tom yum. We got our mushrooms, the carrot, some capsicum or red pepper, onion, tomato, and the coriander. Now I'll also add to this, what I do when I go supermarket, if I see anything on special, I saw these lime leaves a while back. They were reduced from 5 baht, 10 baht to 5 baht. So I bought them because you can put these in the freezer and they don't lose anything in the freezer. They're still going to be as strong when you pop them into your soup. So I'll use 2 of these. I also do that with green peppercorns. Green peppercorns are always on special here, or quite often on special here if they're not being sold. And I buy them and put them in the freezer whenever I see them when they're on half price. It's a good way to save money, and it's, you know, you might not use it, but it's in the freezer. You might not use it for a while, but it's in the freezer. It's going nowhere. It's like having a can of soup in your fridge, in your pantry. You know, you can just leave it there until you want it. Well, it's the same with things like lime leaves, green peppercorns. I even, when I get a litre of milk, because I'm living by myself, I put half of that in the freezer. I put it into another bottle and I freeze half. And then when I need it, I pull it out. I don't like wasting anything. So, yeah, a couple of lime leaves will go into the soup as well, the tom yum soup. And that's ready now. That's been cooking for about an hour. So I'll strain that off. That's the stock we'll be using later on. It smells great. I only needed for that amount of water for me, because I like mine my pet, or not spicy. If you don't like it spicy, tell the waiter when he comes to your table, my pet. If you like it spicy, tell him pet. So this stock here, I'll just leave here to cool down a little while, and then I'll start cooking probably in an hour or so, because I like to cook especially prawns. If it was a chicken curry or a pork curry, then I don't mind cooking it early, because the flavours go through the meats. But if you cook prawn curry prawn tom yum too early, the prawns are gonna, they're gonna go dry and hard sitting there in the stock. I like to just cook them just a little bit. I'd rather undercook a prawn a little bit than overcook a prawn, because they're so delicate and nice to eat. You really don't want to have a tough prawn just chewing on this piece of meat. So this one I'll more or less cook to order, this curry. Other curries you make, Indian curries and your Thai red curries, they improve with age. So if you have the next day, they taste stronger and better because they've sat, but not the same when you're using prawns. The vegetables, they cost 40 baht, or 50 baht, because I bought the pepper for 10 baht. But I've still got half of them left. I've still got half the mushrooms, still got half an onion, half a tomato, half the coriander, and quite a lot of the spring onions. Oh, I haven't cut the spring onions up, so I put that there. I'll cut them up in a minute. So I'd have 4 spring onions. So I've got all this left out, even though I only spent 40 baht, I've got 20 baht of it's left. So that'll be for another meal. So it's very, very cheap, even though it's, you know, you're cooking something like prawn. The prawns are going to be, they cost me 85, but I'm only going to eat half of them. So I'll only eat 2 of them tonight. So that's only cost me 40 baht. So really, this soup cost me 60 baht plus a few baht for the rice that'll go with it and a little bit of salad. So, you know, it's cost me very little. Say 20 baht for the veg, 40 baht for the prawn, so 60 baht. So this dinner, which will do me for 2 nights, will cost me 60 baht, or round about what, $3, 3 Australian dollars for 2 meals. So, and you know, look at the prawns. It's not as if you're buying tiny little shrimp and you, or you're buying, you know, sort of a cheap seafood, like a cheap fish. These are giant prawns, and they're going to cost me less than $1.50 per meal. Okay, I'm also going to have with this dinner, I'm going to do some steamed rice, and I'm going to do some garlic bread. I bought this cob loaf 2 days ago, and I used some for sandwiches, and I've still got a little bit left. So I'm going to make a garlic bread. And you may be wondering, how can you make a garlic bread? He hasn't got an oven. Well, I do have an oven. I bought this oven here when I first came to Thailand, because I still wanted to have English roast chicken and Yorkshire puddings and roast lamb. But then I found out the price of lamb and I stuck with chicken. So yeah, I can do a garlic bread in there. So what I do when I buy garlic, I find that I don't eat a lot of garlic. So I only buy sort of 1 or 2 cloves. But then what I do, I put it in my blender, and I blend, just give it a quick blend. I don't want it sort of going to water, but I still want it to be in little pieces like that. And I then put oil on it and put it in the fridge, and it lasts forever. You know, I can't remember when I did this. It was that long ago, and I've been away for a month. So instead of having garlic just sitting in your fridge, which will go off one day, and you look in the fridge and think, oh, I better throw that away. You don't have to throw this away. You just mince it up and put it with your with some oil. Just cover it with oil, and then you can just mix it through your butter for garlic bread, or put a spoonful in if you're making a curry, or if you're making Italian food, maybe a little bit more of that. Because the oil also is flavoured as garlic, so you can use the oil as garlic, you know, as garlic oil just for frying. But that's the way I do it. I do the same with ginger. I got this out as well. I buy ginger, I blend it. I don't leave it in the fridge. It tends to go mouldy after a little while. If you blend it and put it in water, this has been in water, it's absorbed now. I'll change the container in this soon and put a little bit more water on top. So if I buy a whole lot of ginger, which comes in, you know, like one stem of ginger, I get that, plus I freeze the rest. So all that is frozen ginger. So when I've used up what I have over there on the counter, then I'll pull that out and use that next. So no waste. It's all, everything I buy, I try not to waste. I don't like throwing food away. That's obviously being a chef. And I suppose I've worked in some remote places where, you know, you don't get food deliveries very often. I worked on an Antarctic ship where we were on ship for 9 weeks, going down to the Antarctic and back. And if, you know, we had to make the food stretch, we know you know, you don't want to be throwing food away, because if you're halfway back and you start to run out of food, then the crew aren't going to be very happy with you. So I've always learnt to try and preserve food. So we'll do this. There's a little bit of garlic bread, which I'll put in my little oven later, and keep the rest of the garlic butter for next time. I'm not going to need all that. Probably gone a little bit over the top. And You spread a little bit on the top so it goes nice and crispy. Yeah, so that's my garlic bread. And to go with that, I will make a side salad with what I have left from the tom yum. Actually, this is the half tomato I had left. There's a little bit of red pepper I chopped up, and one of the spring onions, and I've got a small cucumber which I found in the fridge. So I'm just going to do a little salad for tonight. And go there. As I said, I'm not a big eater, so I can eat, even half a tomato and a little bit of cucumber is more than enough for me. I know some people have big appetites. You're going to have to do a lot more than what I do, but for me, this is ample. Oop. Sharpen the knife soon, I think. And I'm going to add to that, I bought some pineapple the other day from Tesco Lotus shopping. I'm going to add a little bit of that and make a pineapple salad. I eat the little bit in the middle. Waste nothing. Nice. Put all that together, mix, and then I've got a nice little pineapple salad. And this here, it says blue cheese dressing, but it's not. I made a Thousand Islands salad dressing when I bought my mayonnaise the other day. I made some Thousand Islands, so I'll put a little bit of that on it later. That will go with my garlic bread, and basically that's it. That's my dinner. So I've just got to put it together. I've just got to put the prawns, the vegetables, and the soup together, and add the coconut. So that's the next step. But all in all, this, if I did it in just one go, this would take me about 15 minutes to do the salad, the tom yum. Apart from boiling the stock, it takes about 15 minutes, that's all. It's very easy to do. That's a good thing about buying the stock cubes. Cuts out a lot of hassle of what you have to buy to make the flavour. Okay, we're going to start cooking now. I've got the pan on, that's starting to get nice and hot. I'm going to cook my rice. So I get a little cup. I know what size for me. This size will give me 2 meals. So I put the rice in my little rice cooker, give it a bit of a rinse to wash the starch off. And another one. Then we put normally around about 1.5 cups for every cup that you use. Cup of rice, 1.5 water. Another way of doing it is you put your finger and it's up to the knuckle, but there again, if you've got long fingers, that doesn't always work. So I always use 1.5 measures of water to 1 measure of rice. Put that on. That'll take about 15-20 minutes. Now, put that on before the smoke gets too much. You start off with your hard vegetables. I didn't put pumpkin in the end. I think I had too many vegetables here, so I just put some carrot in. So you start off with your with your hard vegetable, obviously that's going to take a lot longer to cook than, say, a little bit of spring onion or this onion or tomato. All these are soft vegetables, they only take a few seconds. I throw them in at the last minute. Turn that down a bit. I don't like cooking with electric, I'd much prefer gas, but unfortunately that's one of the things about here in Thailand, that most places you go are electric. And when I get my own place it'll be different, but I'm renting, so I've got to go with the flow. So we cook that for a few seconds. I like a little bit of extra ginger in mine, in my tom yum, so I'm going to put a teeny bit of ginger in with that. Smells good. Now I'm going to put, give it a few more seconds. Now I do my tom yum a little bit different to how I might put a little bit more oil there. So no. I do my tom yum a little bit different than most Thai people. They like it more as a soup, and you know, thin. I like just a little bit of thickness, not thick so that it's you know, stodgy, but just a little bit like cream thickness, I suppose. So I just add a little bit of flour to my tom yum. I don't always go on strict recipes. You know, I like to mix them up a little bit and add a bit of this and add a bit of that. I don't think you've got to always go as the recipe is written. So we add that, a little bit of flour, maybe a little bit more. It's a little bit mean there. So we add that to it. Cook the flour so you get that nice smell coming off with the oil and the flour. Now I add my onion. A few seconds. The rest I just throw in. The softer vegetables I throw in at the last minute. Now, flour's cooked enough. Yeah, now stock. Some stock, I think. I don't need a lot. So we just let that boil up a little bit. Hopefully it'll thicken to a decent consistency. Maybe I should have added a little bit more flour, but never mind. So I don't need that now. That's another thing, in a small kitchen, you really got to clean up as you go. Otherwise you end up with a total mess. Stuff everywhere. I wash up as I go, and I clean as I go, and then after dinner there's nothing much to do. These are my 2 kaffir lime leaves that I had in the freezer. I'll pop them in, and I'll pop in this little bit of coriander. That always gives it a nice flavour. So we wait for that to come to the boil. Hopefully it'll get some consistency. It'll get a little bit thick. I also like to add a little bit of lime juice. I just buy the bottle. It saves a lot in buying fresh limes. If I don't use them, they only go off, where I can keep the lime juice in the cupboard. And a little bit of fish sauce. I always like a little bit of fish sauce. And we just wait. Rice is cooking. I'll put the garlic bread on in about 5 minutes. So alright, we're just getting to the final stages now. It might seem that it's taken a long time. It hasn't. I could do this in 15 minutes, as I said before, but I'm breaking it down in stages so that I can show you. So now it's time to add the vegetables, the mushroom, tomato, and capsicum, spring onion. Put all that in there. A bit of a stir. As you can see, it's a little bit thicker than a normal tom yum, but that's my prerogative. That's how I like it. I'm not big on always sticking just to recipes. I just like what's tasty, what's good, and what's good for me. If I was cooking for Thai people, I probably wouldn't do that. I like it thicker because Thai people eat it more as a soup. I like it more as a curry. When you put it on your rice, if you do it as a soup, it just goes straight through the rice, where if you do it as a little bit thicker, it coats the rice and more like a curry. So that's why I like it. Same flavour, just a little bit different in texture. So now we add our coconut milk. Don't need too much, it's very creamy. And we add our prawns. Just look at the size of these. Unbelievable. Beautiful. 1, 2, 3, 4. So just leave that come to the boil. Just the rice has just switched off, so that's what it is. Warm. Garlic bread is cooking away merrily. I'll turn that down a little bit. So it's all ready. I've just got to bring this to the boil and wash up the little few things that I've been using. As you can see, I wash up as I go. I'm a good chef. I'm well taught. I've worked with some very messy chefs. The end, when you finish service, you got that much cleaning up to do. I clean up as I go, and then I can sit down and enjoy my meal and not think, oh, I've got to do the washing up. So I'll serve it up in 2 seconds. Okay, so it's dinner time. It's about 5:30. I'm eating earlier tonight because I prepared all this. I don't normally eat till later, but because it's hot now, I'll eat now. So here's our dinner that I prepared today. Very sad there's only one serving. It would be nice if someone was sat in that chair enjoying the meal with me, but it's not to be. But here's the finished product. We got 2 lovely big prawns, and I've got another 2 and more rice for tomorrow. I've got a pineapple salad. I've got a nice crispy garlic bread, but it's nice and soft in the middle, as it should be, crisp on the outside. And I've got a glass of my Italian wine that I bought the other day, for 600 baht a bottle. So this whole meal came to roughly, not counting the wine, but the food on the table, came to around about 130 baht. But that's for 2 meals, that's not for one. Tomorrow I'll be eating the rest of it. So around about 65-70 baht for this dinner. So $3 for magnificent prawns, some very fresh vegetables, beautiful mushrooms, my favourite mushrooms these. I have to try one. It's good. Just spicy enough for me with the stock cube. Maybe a little, could do with maybe a little bit of chilli, but for me that's great. But if it was for a Thai person, you'd need to put chilli in. And if you like chilli, obviously you'd want to add the chilli into the cooking stage of it. When you're cooking your carrots, you would add your chilli and get some heat out of it that way. But as I say, I like my pet, so that's good enough for me. So bon appetit, cheers, and if you enjoy this video, please tell me. I'd like to teach you some more street food, but obviously that's only while I'm in Hua Hin. While I'm staying in my condo, when I'm on the road, it's impossible. I'm staying in hotels. So, but for the next few weeks at least, I can maybe do a little bit of cooking. So if there's anything you'd like to see, any recipe you'd like, I'll try and cook it for you. Just put it in the comments. Okay? Cheers. Thanks for watching.